welcome back to Swans Cast, everyone. So, obviously, we've got a big week ahead of us now, and maybe the more interesting part of that week comes on the weekend. But still got quite a big match to play before that, and that is Swansea travelling down to Bournemouth on Tuesday. I don't actually. What time is kick-off? Do we know? Got kick-off?
8:15, I think.
8:15, I believe.
Normal sort of midweek.
Is available for season ticket holders, and is it on Sky this time?
Yeah, we got tons of games on Sky now, haven't we?
Yeah. Okay. So plenty of ways to watch. I don't think that, from what I saw earlier, they're not. You can't purchase it from Swans online, but you can watch there if you've already got season ticket holder. That's probably because it's on Sky, I'd imagine. Okay,
Yeah.
so big match. Bournemouth then obviously had an interesting game on the weekend. They didn't get a win, which obviously Swansea did. I guess their fans would say they're not playing the best. We say we're not playing the best, or Swansea fans do. But the difference is we seem to be grinding other results. We're staying sort of up there, in a position to challenge for second in the league. I was just actually on a Bournemouth channel myself on their live stream pre-match for the match, and which I'll link to you, their channel, in the description, so check that out. And they mentioned how when we played them last time they were in second place, so quite an interesting sort of point to look at, really, how they've dropped off now, because they're not even they are just outside the playoffs, but there's a bit of a gap, which they kind of need to win this game. So what do you think of this match then, Lee? Start with you.
I don't know. It's just there's just so many games at the moment. I don't know what to make most of them. I know I saw on the weekend. It was a good game they had when they were Barnsley. It was 3-2.
Yeah.
Like we said in the last video, you can see the difference with teams that are chasing who have to win, and we're just sort of trying to stay in the mix, trying to sort of battle against that. But I expect, like you said, they've got to win, so I expect them to be coming at us quite strong, especially early on. It's probably not what we've seen in the last couple of weeks from opposition. So I think come at us a bit harder than Luton and Middlesbrough did earlier on.
Yeah, Alid?
Yeah, too many games thick and fast. No, Lee, because I just, we're obviously trying to maintain, and they're trying to get back in the mix. So although we're trying to pick up points, I feel like they are going to come at us very, very hard.
Yeah, they're probably going to... I think they're going to be up for it. But the Bournemouth fans are saying that they can't play for 90 minutes. They seem to have one good half, and then they drop off. And that seems to be an issue, especially since the new manager, Jonathan Woodgate's come in. So I think that you saw that in the game they played against Barnsley, where they were ahead 2-1 at half-time, I believe. And they scored just on a stroke of half-time to go in 2-1 up. And then Barnsley, it was all them in the second half, pretty much, from what I've looked into. They just dropped off. Bournemouth, they just kind of, they just let it slip. There was no drive there. So I would love to see the same thing happen again, I guess, tomorrow. But I think it's be an interesting one. They don't seem that fussed on Jonathan Woodgate. They've mentioned a couple of things about the fact that Jack Wilshere, I know you've got your own opinions on Jack Wilshere, Lee, but they would consider him to be one of their most attacking players. And to be fair, in a championship, he's not Arsenal anymore challenging for top four, is he? He's in Bournemouth challenging for promotion to the Premier League. So he's going to be adding some quality, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm going to keep my Jack Wilshere thoughts until after the game, because if I go off on him, he's going to, he's going to have a stormer of a performance.
Well, maybe or maybe not, because that's what I'm saying. They reckon that he won't play because Jonathan Woodgate don't like him. So
I haven't seen. He's not been playing recently, is he, Jack Wilshere?
Well, he didn't come off the bench against Barnsley, and when you think they went behind in the second half, and you might have.
Well, he's probably injured. That's why.
Well, he was on the bench.
He always is.
They
always bloody injured.
They seemed a bit confused why he wasn't playing. So nothing, I guess, addressed about him being injured in the media. But I guess maybe they'll know more in the club. But it just seems like since the new manager's come in, he's not getting so much game time. I think Dominic Solanke is back. I forgot Shane Long signed for him actually, but I don't think he's done much since he's got there. Has he even scored a goal? I'm not sure.
No, I don't know. I've not heard much of it.
Yeah, I've not seen it popping up that much. I know they've still got Sam Surridge, so if you wanna talk about the Swansea curse, then you could put a fiver on that one. It's for Sam Surridge to score, but again, he's not starting.
Going back, I was only going to think about Wilshere. Is he not on wasn't he on like a pay as you play or like a trial basis or something like that?
I'm not sure the details of his contract, but like I said, I spoke to them Bournemouth fans just now on their channel, and they didn't understand why he wasn't getting in a team. So take from that what you will. Like I don't really know. I haven't been watching all of their games. As for form, like you mentioned our form, and I think you were comparing to Barnsley being on the outside, coming in and needing that run. But on a form, there's only 3 teams that got better form than us in the league. That is Barnsley. We're equal with Reading, and then we've got Watford and Norwich. Watford are only better than us by the fact that we've drawn a game that they've won. But so it was still, our form is like joint 4th in the league. So we're still doing the business really, when you put it into perspective. And I told you about this before the match as well. Our goal scoring. So we've scored 45 goals, and everyone is crediting Barnsley for their run at the moment. They have also scored 45 goals. And then if you looked on the bottom end of things, because people say we're not scoring enough and stuff like that, the lowest scoring team in the league is Wickham, and they've scored 24. And they've got Sheffield Wednesday, they've scored 25, Birmingham 26, Derby 25. It's not, the picture's not as bad as you might pick up from some of the sounds that are being made. And when you put into perspective, we only score like a maximum of 2 in a game, bar 1 game this year. It's decent, to be fair.
No, but I don't think I don't think the criticism is in terms of like form, obviously, because the results are brilliant, like as you said. Yeah. But I think the criticism in the blip is the performances.
Yeah.
No, and people are and that's the difference that we're going to see in teams like Barnsley now, and maybe potentially Bournemouth, because they need to win now to get back into the top 6.
Yeah,
they're going to force the issue a bit more. They're going to play a more free-flowing football than we are. We're essentially just sort of just trying to get over the line. But that's what I mean. I think and we're probably going to see the same tomorrow as well. And we might see a change in Bournemouth. We might see a bit more, but we'll see. Well, they will before the end of the season.
I thought going into tomorrow's game, and I don't know if either of you two got anything on this, but I thought Bournemouth, we played Luton and Stoke recently, and maybe not so much Blackburn, because I think they do sometimes try and play a bit of football, but Bournemouth obviously like to keep it on the floor a lot, don't they, and play football, so maybe that would suit. Maybe it's an opportunity for us to get back to playing a bit better. It might not be like all of a sudden we're playing wonderful again, but maybe it gives us an opportunity to not, for the performance levels to improve in terms of maybe the visual stuff that people say we don't look like we're playing that well.
Yeah, I said on when Ben was on with us that I think the so-called bigger sides in the Championship suits us. So I think we play maybe minus the Brentford at home game, because that was a bit different. But I think if you look at Brentford away, Norwich away, Watford at home, Reading at home, I think that Norwich at home, they're probably all our best performances this year, or at least in the top 10 performances that we put together. So I think that in these sort of sides that want to play football and keep the ball on the floor, I think it suits us, especially how well we defend at the moment. I think it just suits us down to the ground. Let them have the ball, and we'll probably pick them off.
Anything on that, Alid? Been a bit quiet so far.
Yeah, no. I agree with that. We covered that a little bit in the post-match, the last game. Looking on to this game, we, everything that was just said, we said then as well, and I think it will have an effect on us. I think it should open our game up a little bit more, especially it might free our wing backs a little bit more as well. If they're pushing hard, and we can slip it in behind with a wing back or that sort of thing. And in terms of, I think, I don't know. I feel like against the sort of top 6 or that sort of thing, the teams we've played when we've played them, I feel like we've been better playing against them than we have against lower down the league, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
When you think of the Reading game, okay, that Raphael, their goalkeeper, had an absolute stormer. But we still played one of the best games I think we played.
Yeah, we should have won. That's one of the games where we played really well and didn't win. That I think we should have won. Which again, that's where
forgot that.
That's the difference, isn't it? Do you grind out a win or do you play well and not get a result? But go on, Lee.
No, I just forgot. You said like Raphael is in goals. Is that the one who used to play for Napoli?
Oh no,
I forgot how good their squad is.
He said the Reading game. Raphael, the keeper for Reading. Remember, you had a couple of really good saves in our home game against Reading.
Oh yeah, couldn't cut that.
Yeah. Begovic is in goals for Stoke. Not Stoke, Bournemouth.
Oh well, just as good really. I didn't realise how good their squad was. We said about shitting long and
yeah. Well, they've still got a really good squad because not so many went after the Premier League relegation because a lot in terms to COVID this year. It's quite a similar story with like Norwich and Watford. Do you think maybe they've kept more than what they would have kept in a normal circumstance? Obviously, they got Dominic Solanke, which it seemed like he was playing a number 10 role in the last game, which I didn't realise that was something that he offered. Dan Juma is probably the one standout that you think maybe can offer something special. Stanislas, I think, has been quite consistent this season, probably one of their best performers. And then you've got, like, even in the back line, Steve Cook is quite a veteran for Bournemouth, isn't he? And Cameron Carter-Vickers is the one that's partnering him at the moment.
Is he at Bournemouth, is he? I didn't realise he was there.
Yeah, he is. And he's starting as well. And the fact that the guys I was just speaking to were saying that he's probably the most solid centre-back they've had this season. So maybe he's,
I didn't mind him. I didn't mind him when he was here. I thought he'd done a job for us when he was.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't come back, but I guess it was a change of manager and stuff, wasn't it? So
did he get a lot of game time with us though?
He did. We had injuries, didn't we? Because Van der Hoorn got injured for a while, and Rodon kept getting injured. So
but outside of that, I don't think he, except for those sort of situations, I don't think he got much game time with.
No, I think he played quite a few matches for us, to be fair.
Yeah, 30.
Yeah, I think
so
he was decent.
I'm sure one of Van der Hoorn or Rodon has a long-term injury.
It was Rodon.
I think it was Rodon. Yeah.
So we know what he can offer. Let's just hope he doesn't score a goal, I guess. But looking at the Swansea team, then let's have a look at us. We know what Bournemouth have got. We played them already. It was a 0-0. The home leg. The guys again I spoke to mentioned the pitch was awful, so it was just before a pitch got relayed. So they probably were the better team. At the time they were second. They reckon David Brooks should have had a penalty. I can't quite remember back to the game. I didn't watch the highlights before this. I think I remember thinking there was something that we were saying that it wasn't a penalty and that he went down too easily now thinking back. What do you remember much about that?
I can't remember it.
No idea.
No, I remember. I think there was something happened in the box, and my personal thing on it, I think he went down too easily. He was trying to already going down. I think it was a tackle. Maybe he was going to the byline or something. Could be wrong. And like I said, I haven't seen it. I'll have to catch up after they've done this video now. But they were adamant they should have had a penalty because they were asking me why Swansea have conceded so little penalties, which I haven't got the stats about here. But they said it was 1. Again, that surprises me because I'm sure Woodman has saved a few. I'm sure it was a couple.
Who was that against? I can't remember.
Well, we definitely conceded one against Bristol City away because Connor Roberts fallen over.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
But I'm pretty sure Woodman has saved 2 penalties this season, unless I'm literally making that up. Unless they were in the cup. Were they in the cup? Maybe one against Birmingham in the cup. Was it Birmingham? And I'm talking rubbish now. It wasn't Birmingham. We played someone in the lower league, and they had a penalty.
Oh no, the Stevenage. You saved the penalty.
Yeah, that's it. Stevenage. I don't know why I thought Birmingham. Yeah. But yeah, he saved one there. But I'm sure he saved another one. But I don't know. It's been a long season.
He saved one at Derby. I think that was last season though. So I think it's all rolling into one now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Well, anyway, if that is true, and Swansea have only conceded one penalty, I was putting it down to the fact that we do concede chances, but we tried to get people shooting up from outside the box quite often. Like, the way we play, it's not often like we leave someone 1v1 in the box where they might make a mistake like that. I mean, look, you can't really have a reason for it, really, can you?
Or it's because we've got the refs in our pocket, obviously.
Yeah. Nah, it's because of that paycheck that Keith Cooper has kindly donated to the referee association, and obviously we're benefiting as a result. But if they do get a penalty, their penalty taker, I believe they said it was Stanislas, has not missed a penalty all season. So let's hope we don't concede one. Touch wood. But yeah, like I said, looking at the Swansea team, then would you make any changes then, Alid, from the last game?
I don't know. I feel like maybe Danda needs to come out. Going back to the luxury player of post-match. I don't know. And Lee obviously was saying, he's dead after 60 minutes. If Bournemouth are going to come at us, which is probably likely, I feel like maybe Danda should be dropped for somebody else. Fulton, maybe. But then we are weaker going forward. But that's probably the only change. Other than maybe Bennett, depending on injury, I wouldn't optionally take him out, if that makes sense. But if he's injured, obviously he needs to come out.
It's difficult with Bennett because I want him there for Cardiff, but at the same time I want him there for this one.
Yeah, it's Norton and Bennett that I'd say maybe would be others too. Like it would be either or.
It might be
depending on injuries or whatever. That's the only reason why I'd say one of those two would come out as injury.
Lee?
But that, I think, keep it the same.
Is Guehi still injured?
I think he was touch and go for the last game, so I don't think it was a massive injury that he had. I don't know the circumstances, so he might not be available. I haven't caught up with what Steve Cooper said this week.
Well, I think he needs to rest, if he can, one of Norton or Bennett. Not just because it's Cardiff, but we spoke before about them playing 3 games in a week. It's just, especially Bennett, he seems to struggle more every time he plays midweek, and then Saturday he seems to pick up an injury. So I think, but then it's tempting to put him in because he's just, put him in the middle of the back 3. So I'd maybe bring Cabango and Latibode, maybe either side of Bennett.
Well, Lati is in from last game, so it'd be Norton dropping out for Cabango.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And then I think Bidwell comes in for Manning, just away from home with Bournemouth. You expect them to have more of the ball, so I'd be bringing Bidwell back in. Well, and I think.
Go on.
I'll go on. So you can say about Manning first if you want.
No, I was just going to say about more of the ball. They had like 53% against Barnsley. But are they expected to have more of the ball now? They've got Jonathan Woodgate as their manager. I don't know. I'm not sure what his sort of style is.
I think.
I was going to say, who were they playing? Sorry, Barnsley, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did Barnsley, after going 3-2 up at whatever point, then sit back and then obviously possession go back?
No. Barnsley just run at you for the entire match. That's just the way they play. They just proper hound you down all game. They make it hard for you to have possession, to be fair, so perhaps not the best one to look at for that.
But I think that we don't have much of the ball anyway. So I'm thinking that Bournemouth at home, these games, we're going to sacrifice the majority of possession, aren't we? In that sort of game. So I think, with that being said, I think we were saying about Danda, I think that a game like the game against like a team like Luton probably suits him, where we may have more of the ball. We would against, say, Bournemouth. Away from home, I would say I'd be playing Smith, Grimes and Fulton as a 3 with Horahan and Dander on the bench. Well, maybe Lowe and Ayew.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to disagree with both of you, which maybe is not that often that sort of thing happens. I actually would only make one change to the lineup, and that is probably one of the defenders, so whether you rest in Bennett or Norton, basically. Depends if Guehi is available. Otherwise, it's Cabango that comes in. But look, it wasn't obviously a 90-minute performance from the team, but Horahan scored, Dander done the assist. I just think, like, I know we're harsh on Dander sometimes, say luxury player and stuff. I don't dislike him as a player, and he does create. So if we are going to try and play a bit more, I feel like having him there, it worked. It did work, like we won the game, so it worked. The changes worked in the last game. So give him another run out. He's only ever going to sort of slot in and drop this luxury tag and make a name for himself if he gets a run in a team as well. If he's in and out all the time, then it's just going to play into that sort of tag. I'm saying two things are true in a way. I'm saying, like, he's a good player, he can create, and we can benefit from him, as well as the fact he's luxury. But I feel like it's worth taking that risk because Bournemouth are definitely there for the taking in my eyes. I know they need to win, but they also, like, there's a reason why they've fallen from second to where they are now, and there's a reason why we haven't. So we need to make a statement, really. And I would like Cooper. He made those changes to be more positive. I would like him to stick with that, to try and continue to be like, okay, maybe it didn't work this one time, but try it again. Give them the sort of confidence to try it again, rather than revert back to a more defensive thing where we're going to have the same conversation that we didn't do anything and it was boring and it was rubbish to watch. And it might be the case anyway, but I would still like to see them try. And if we're going to ask for changes, that's the most exciting lineup, really. I would keep Manning over Bidwell. I think he had a good game the other day. The one that I might change actually is in the middle, Corey Smith for Felton. Maybe I would maybe swap those two. I think I prefer Felton than Corey Smith at the moment. I know Smith is tidy, but since he come back from injury, he's just been okay. I think I don't think he's been the same as what he was before.
Yeah,
I know you disagree with that, but that's just what I think.
No, we're gonna have to agree to disagree on that one, because I think that look, it's no disrespect, but it's Luton, isn't it? And I think we're expecting to have more of the ball and be a bit more attacking in that game. I think Bournemouth away. I think what were the guys saying earlier? We haven't. I know it doesn't really mean anything now because we haven't beaten Stoke for ages either, and we beat them
8 games.
It's the same with Bournemouth. We haven't done well there recently, and I think they lost their big game on Saturday. That was huge. That game against Barnsley on the weekend. They have to win this game now if they want to get back. What are they? How many points off are they now?
5.
Couple of points off the playoffs.
5, yeah.
They have to win this game. They are going to come at us.
We haven't mentioned this, and I think it's worth mentioning. So we've got a big game on the weekend. They've also got a massive game on the weekend. Do you know what it is?
Who are they playing?
It's not a league game. They're playing in the FA Cup against Southampton. So that's a local derby and a cup match. And I know they tried to push for the Premier League, but they're not going to sacrifice that, surely. Like, they're going to have one eye on that, you'd like to think. Do you know what I mean? So that might play into our hands. But then at the same time, we could say the same thing, that we'd have an eye on Cardiff. So, which is what we were discussing.
I mean, I know what I'm saying. I'm not trying to stick it on Dander again, but I just mean that they've got to, in terms. I know what you're saying about the weekend game. We'll all have one eye on the weekend, but I just think they're going to come at us, and I think it's the reverse. I think it's a game that will suit Dander later on in the game, coming on. 60 minutes instead of starting, and when the game maybe breaks up a little bit.
Maybe
I think it would suit him then, but I think from the start I would like to see just a bit more solid in the middle. I'd like to see those 3 in the middle, just to start the game.
I do get what you're saying, and I would agree with you. And what you're saying isn't bad, and if it happens or whatever, it is what it is. But I just feel like Cooper's been acknowledging the performance levels have not been where he wants them to be. And we made all this talk for weeks and weeks about the fact he's not rotating the lineup. And now he has rotated the lineup. I feel like it's kind of accepting defeat if you rotate it back. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, he's rotated it to try and address the attacking problems. And he essentially played 2 central attacking midfielders with Dander and Horahan at the same time. And it was the first time he'd done that, so we ended up getting a win. It wasn't like a pretty performance against Luton. We've done the job early and kind of sat on it. But I just would like to see it again to see if like that can work. And I feel like a team like Bournemouth, I don't know for sure under Woodgate because it's quite recent. I haven't watched any of it. But like compared to some of the other teams we played recently, I don't think they're going to press us and close us down further up the pitch as much. Like they play quite passing football, they'll have the ball, we'll have the ball, that sort of thing. And I just would like to see him try and stick to his guns and be like, no, we can still play nice and we can score more goals and we can create again. Not think, it didn't work against Luton, I'm just going to go back to being defensive. And I think part of it's because I want it to work and I want to stop. I want all the fans that are being like, we can't attack, we're rubbish, just shut up. And I would like to see Cooper shut them up. That's probably why I'm going down that avenue a little bit more as well.
No, I know what you mean, but it is rotation in a way, because I can't remember the last time we played those three in midfield and Ayew and Lowe up front. And if you think back, they've probably done it since then, but I go back to the Cardiff away game where we played those three in midfield and Ayew, that's what we'll have to call it up front, the combination.
Ayew.
But Ayew.
Low. R-O. No, it's not working, is it?
It doesn't work either way. But it is rotation away. I don't think it's necessarily going defensive by playing those three in midfield. I think it's just an option where we're going away from home and you just play those three. I feel like Fulton gets forward.
It's a solid lineup, isn't it? Like, it's not defensive, it's solid. But you know that if it's 0-0 or something, everyone will be like, that's a defensive lineup.
Either way, whichever way it goes, if it's Fulton or whatever, if Danda ends up out or Danda ends up in, I can imagine at about the 60 mark, there's still going to be a sub.
Yeah.
Whether that's to go more attacking or more defense.
He's not doing
Definitely
90.
Not, but in comparison to others, he is. Is Danda fresher?
He's played less games, you'd have to say.
Recently, so but obviously...
Lee made that point in the last video, didn't he? That the fact that he was the one coming in, he should be more energetic, and that is fair enough. But like I said in the last game, maybe the fact that we went 1-0 up so early, like, changed our game plan, which maybe is part of the problem. Like, you play this lineup to go and be more attacking. They do the job and they get a goal, but then the next part of the game plan is to sit on it. So then it kind of reverses the whole thing that you play in mode attacking and makes them look like they're not doing what they need to do.
Especially going up.
Because that's our game plan. So maybe like that's where it suits the three more. But like, I don't know, it's a catch-22 now. You're playing the more attacking lineup to get the goal. But when you get the goal, you're happy to sit back. So it doesn't work then. So it's...
Especially when we got it so early, within like 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's different. But I think, but again, like Bournemouth away, if he taking a 0-0, like if he wants to go three in midfield and park them in there with Bidwell and get a 0-0, I'm taking that whole day.
Yeah, I wouldn't be disappointed.
The criticism will come, we don't attack and all this, the usual hymn sheet.
Yeah.
But if we go with that tomorrow, get a 0-0 and then beat Cardiff on the weekend, and we've got 7 points in the week. It's a great week.
Take that, yeah. Right. Before I ask you your predictions on the match then, we've got a contribution from the channel that I did just feature on. They're just talking about what they think of the match. So that was Cherries Red Army, AFC Bournemouth fan channel on YouTube. So I'll link their YouTube and Twitter in the description below.
Hi Swancast, this is Kurt from Cherries Red Army YouTube channel. AFC Bournemouth versus Swansea on Tuesday then. A big 3 points for AFC Bournemouth. We've dropped too many points this season, too many draws, and we had our 5th home loss of the season on Saturday. Only 3 points will do for us right now. Am I confident we can get them? Probably not. Swansea got a big game coming up as well at the weekend, so we'll probably take a draw and make life difficult for us. But we be positive. We hope that our talent within our squad can turn up for 90 minutes, because normally it only turns up for 45. But if it does, we should have enough in the locker to win the football match. Good luck to you for the rest of the season, but hopefully, I hope the Cherries can win the football match.
Okay, what do you make of that then? Because I feel like he doesn't sound very confident.
Only a win will do. they've got to come at us. Only a win will do. Going to come at us, and if they burn after 45 minutes and then 60 minutes, that's the time for Dander to come on. Then.
Yeah, maybe. It could be the other way around though, where they're crap in the first half and then all over us in the second.
Sort of like Bristol were a bit
Yeah.
But that happened with us against Bristol. We didn't switch on in the first 5 minutes.
But Bristol were like so passive in our first half. I know we looked like Barcelona, but like they didn't even try and get stuck in, did they?
No.
If everyone played like that against us, then we'd probably play that good every week. But most teams don't let us have the ball, which is why we can't do that all the time. I think it was quite early. It was obvious that they were just sat in aiming for a point, so we could do whatever we wanted in that game. On reflection,
we just didn't,
and that's why we haven't seen it since.
Yeah, we just didn't score.
Yeah. Well, look, he thinks it's going to be tough. We know it's going to be tough. To be honest, I went on their channel and they asked me for a prediction, so I'm going to keep it consistent to start off. I said 0-0. I just think we've both got bigger fish to fry on the weekend, and I don't think a point is necessarily the end of the world for either of us. So it could just be a board draw, maybe. Especially if Bennett is back. What about you?
Lee, do you want to go?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to be much like that. And we Ben said as well, didn't he? Just because of the volume of games, he said we're going to have another midweek fixture list that's just going to be full of awful games.
Yeah,
there's going to be some awful games tomorrow.
Yeah, like every team in the league is experiencing this at the moment. I know we watch our games, Swans fans, and think like we're playing really rubbish, it's crap, it's boring to watch. You'd be surprised how many other fans are saying the same about their team, and it is quite a lot to do with the tiredness. But yeah, carry on, Lee.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think we said to me, whoever manages this fixture list the best probably, wins the league or, gets promoted or whatever. So I think we are doing that at the moment. This game, I don't know. I'm thinking 0-0, but also I can't ignore the Cardiff factor. As much as they say in the camp, it's one game at a time and we're not looking at the Cardiff game. Everybody wants to play in that game on Saturday. It's in the back of everybody's minds. I'd love to see a stat, maybe we can find it after, about our results before the derby every year. Because I think last year we got battered by Bournemouth on the Tuesday, didn't we, before the derby on the Saturday. Not Bournemouth, sorry, Brentford. They absolutely battered us and we were horrific on the Tuesday night. And then we beat Cardiff on the Saturday, the home game.
We didn't go into it in good form this year either, did we, earlier this season? I don't think.
No, exactly. No, we didn't. So as much as everybody says, it's one game at a time and all this, it's just definitely in the back of the mind that game is on Saturday. Chance for the double.
Funnily enough, the game before Cardiff
results in
this season was Bournemouth.
No, it was 0-0, wasn't it?
Yeah. I take it back. I take it back. Right. Our form going into Cardiff was a 2-0 win at Luton. A 0-0 draw against Bournemouth, and then Cardiff. It's literally the same three matches. I didn't realise.
Have they just copied and pasted the fixture?
And the one before that was Middlesbrough.
Second half.
The one before that was Middlesbrough.
Have they done that? That's what they do in Italy and
it's
Spain
not all,
as well.
It's not all the same because we played Barnsley 2 games after Cardiff, and we've already played them a second time.
Okay. Yeah, so I think...
What's your final result then?
How many times have I backed against us in a row now?
I can't remember.
I said Luton. I said Middlesbrough.
Well, I'll keep doing it because you'll be singing the song in a Cardiff shirt next year.
Yeah, I think it might be right. I think 0-0 might be right, but I'm gonna say 2-0 Bournemouth. They've got to win.
Jesus Christ. Alid?
Completely flipped that on its head there, Lee. I'm going to go up to Lee, but I'm not going to say 2 because we haven't scored many 2-0s. So I'm going to go with 1-0 Swans.
Let me write this down because I think it's the first time, like it's 3 of us on this video, and it's the first time.
And we're going complete opposites.
To say 1-0 Swans?
Yeah.
Who's scoring?
Also, I haven't thought about that.
Lee was scoring.
No. Yeah, but he's. Why would he say who's scoring for Bournemouth?
That's a good point. I forgot.
I can if you want. Just
You're not
Surridge
getting any
and
points for
Cameron
it.
Vickers.
Yeah. Put a bet on
so
now,
I'm
2-0, them two to score, and then you can take me out when we can go out for COVID because you probably get a lot of money. Alid, who's
Yeah.
scoring?
My heart told me Roberts briefly, but he looked a little bit dead in the last game.
So it's not Roberts then.
No, I'm gonna go with a Grimes top bins, not a Fulton top bin.
I'm just saying, I don't think Grimes is scoring another goal this season, but
Okay, can I take that back then?
no, you said it now. It's on paper.
Well, can I add one thing? Chris said 1-1 earlier in the Discord, but
Did
he
he?
didn't name. Yeah, but he didn't name.
I'll ask him
a
for his
score.
actual prediction, and John.
Well,
and
that's
Scott,
not fair,
I
though.
suppose. Well, if that's what he's put, that's what he's put. But I'll ask him for his scorer then. I didn't see it, but okay. On that note, I think it's been a decent length video here, so we're gonna end it. So as always, don't forget to subscribe. Check out the Bournemouth channel that we featured on. I think that the live stream is available to watch back, so check that out. Obviously, we've seen their clip, so thank you very much for contributing as well. Don't forget to leave a like, as it allows more people to see our channel. Let's just grow, and we want to try and improve every way we can in the future. Keep more content coming. Obviously, to the end of the championship season, and then we'll see what happens in the summer. We've got the Euros and other exciting things going on there. Don't forget we're on Spotify as well for our longer podcasts, so check that out and follow us there. All of social medias, Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, and get involved in the comments. Let us know what you think about the match coming up, what do you think about the score, what players you want to see, and if we talked anything that you disagree with, let us know as well. And on that note, thanks for coming, boys,
Yeah, cheers.
and see you in the next video.
Bye.
See you soon.